Hi, I'm Chivers, a PhD researcher studying diffuse water pollution at the University of Exeter and Rothamsted Research. Diffuse water pollution is caused by the cumulative contributions of various pollutants. Single sources may have little effect on water quality, but at a catchment scale, the impacts can be detrimental. This makes it difficult to place blame on a single stakeholder, particularly as clean water is a public good. Just 14% of UK rivers are classified as ecologically healthy. DEFRA found that 69% of the water bodies they assessed had high phosphate levels. This is concerning as phosphate can have detrimental impacts on the environment. Between 2004 and 2009, water companies spent £189 million removing nitrates and a further £92 million removing pesticides every single year. Agriculture is one of the most prolific sources of diffuse water pollution. Farming contributes to approximately 81% of nitrate, 31% of phosphorus, and 72% of sediment pollution in UK rivers. Many current agricultural practices can lead to diffuse pollution, including tillage, so the use of heavy machinery since the 1950s, applying too much fertiliser or applying it at high-risk times, so such as just before high rainfall. Diffuse pollution can also be caused by growing maize, which is harvested quite late in the year. Inappropriate overwintering of livestock can also lead to diffuse pollution. If the livestock aren't moved around regularly enough, this can lead to poaching and compaction of the soil. Leaving particular types of soil bare over winter can also be detrimental, as this leads to soil erosion and sediment input. This is extremely costly to farmers because once they lose their soil, they also lose their ability to produce food. According to Environment Agency, around a third of the rivers failing to meet the Water Framework Directive requirements are failing due to contributions from agriculture. I'm looking at ways of improving the advice farmers are given surrounding diffuse pollution. At the moment, there are various schemes and organisations who provide this advice, including catchment-sensitive farming. I'm interested in finding out whether farmers would like to be given more scientific evidence in the future, and if so, how they'd like that to be presented. I'm using a mixed methods interdisciplinary approach so that I can triangulate the results with both qualitative and quantitative data. This means that the results I have will be relatively robust so that hopefully the results may influence policy in the future. I'm using telephone interviews, focus groups, an online survey questionnaire alongside sediment fingerprinting, which I'm learning how to carry out so that when I engage with farmers about it, I can explain it as fully as they would like. There are several steps to the sediment fingerprinting approach. Firstly, you undertake field walks to identify possible sediment source groupings. Secondly, you undertake field sampling of source materials and target sediment. Then you carry out complex laboratory analysis for pre-selected tracers. Next, you carry out statistical tests for selection of diagnostic properties. Lastly, you use models and uncertainty analysis to assess how robust the findings are. By this point, you will be able to apportion where sediment may have derived from that has ended up in a watercourse. The results appear to be quite indicative of how credible, relevant and legitimate farmers see the advice they're currently given surrounding diffuse pollution. It varies between organisations and there appears to be regional variance in terms of which organisations are more active in different areas. This could affect the credibility of advice, particularly if farmers don't feel they can rely on a single organisation, because previous research has shown that farmers like to have a single trusted advisor that they've had for a long time. For the next stages of my PhD research, I need to conduct my final telephone interviews, carry out some focus groups with farmers to see how they engage with scientific evidence, and I need to then analyse all of my results and triangulate the methods so that I can get a better understanding of how credible, relevant and legitimate farmers find the environmental advice they're given. These findings are likely to be policy relevant, so after my PhD, I hope to feed the findings back to organisations such as the Environment Agency.